Brother was dipping his hand into the dip at the table and loading his chips, then licking the dip off his fingers. Out to eat with my mom and brother. My brother and I are both in our 30s, and while we are eating I notice that he is scooping up the communal meat and cheese the dip with his hands in order to get as much of the meat as possible on the chip while complaining that he hates the dip. I called him out on it, saying it's nasty and not right. He starts laughing and saying he wasn't doing it, while having a handful of meat in his hand. My mom saw it and said no hess not, I don't see him doing that, then acted like I was the one being weird. He shoveled the pile in his mouth. I said he is gaslighting while he did it again and said he wasn't doing it. I told him to stop and my mom and him just laughed at me and then both dipped their hands in the dip to fish out the meat. And said I was being unreasonable and just trying to start a fight, and that's how everyone eats dip. His big taco salad get there and he starts using a fork to eat it, so I say, "Wait, are you just picking that up with your hands?" He said that's nasty. Then says, "What, you want me to use a fork for the dip or something?" I say yes, if you have to take as much as possible at least use a fork or a spoon, not your hands. My mom says stop trying to fight and let him eat his food how he wants. He wasn't using his hands anyway. Then when my brother got up he walked out and left my mom there. He was supposed to take her home. He had to be shouted at to stop. But when he got up my mom said, "I wish you would grow up and get along with him, you're just nitpicking to start a fight." I try to avoid conflict with him because my parents have always blamed me for stuff, so it takes a lot for me to call him out. Am I the asshole for calling him out? Should I have let him pig out and use his hands to fish out as much of the dip as possible?